Hello and welcome. My name is Meeplist, she, they, and this is Literally Graphic. And today I'm looking at Come Home, Indio by Jim Terry, published by Street Noise in 2020. Content notes for racism, homophobia, alcoholism, anti-protest violence, parent death, leukemia, lupus, and AA. While I was not aware of this book pre-publication, as soon as I saw it on my library's new acquisitions page, I knew I had to read it ASAP. A longtime artist, now author, quote, Jim Terry is a comic book artist who has worked on The Crow, Skinning the Wolves, Sundowners, Alice Cooper vs. Chaos, Vampirilla, and more. He has self-published a number of titles and is currently working on the next one. He lives in Chicago with 4 cats. That's right, 4 cats, unquote, as he describes himself on his website, Wounded but Dangerous. Keywords that came to mind reading this book were family, growing up, awkwardness and nerddom, developing artist, friendship, community, outsiders, spirituality, and abstinence. The synopsis on Goodreads is, quote, in this powerful graphic novel memoir by comics creator Jim Terry, the author shares the personal journey of discovering his spiritual home as a Native American, from a childhood in suburbia disconnected from his identity as an Indigenous person, through an urban adulthood marked by a struggle with alcoholism and the death of his parents, to his life-altering experience at Standing Rock. We are privileged to travel this path with the author as he begins to find a new sense of self as a Native and as an American. End quote. When it comes to the art, as soon as I cracked this book open, I immediately loved the art. I wasn't surprised to find out, as I read through, that Jim was highly influenced by Will Eisner. While certainly a very easy art style to parse, not super abstract, Jim manages to still imbue his work with a high level of expressiveness. Plus, there's cross-hatching, need I say more? Writing-wise, I found the way that Jim presented his life story to be very nuanced and engaging. His life has been hard and full of ups and downs, but the way he builds out the people around him offers a lot of nuance and perspective. It was also nice to see a page at the very end outlining the process of deciding who and what would be included. Social constructs of race were certainly one of the stronger themes in the book. Throughout the book, we follow Jim Terry as he moves back and forth between the colonizer world and the Ho-Chunk Nation of Wisconsin, sometimes more easily than other times, often feeling like an outsider all around. While not necessarily clearly outlined or directly talked about, ramifications of class felt like they were tackled pretty head-on. Paying bills, noisy apartments, and precarious work are the reality for so many of us. It's always nice to see them represented in ways that feel more solidarity building rather than, ew, poor people. Community was another strong theme of the book, and while memoirs are obviously largely focused on a singular person, I really liked how Jim Terry always talks about the people who supported him along the way, especially when it came to platonic friendships. It was also a nice counterbalance to the fact that otherwise this book was, understandably, a bit one note on the representation of sexuality and gender. In ableism versus disability, while I'm not sure anyone in the story identifies as disabled, people's bodies falling short of society's assumptions around ability was a fairly persistent theme that came up a couple of times. Coming to terms with alcoholism and finding sobriety is one that takes up a large chunk of the book. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of the abstinence-only process that Jim Terry goes through, but I'm really glad it works for him. I just wanted to take a moment to encourage my viewers who are unfamiliar with the philosophy to do some web searching on harm reduction, a slightly different way of approaching people's struggles with substance use. To conclude, if you hadn't already guessed, I found this book to be a very fulfilling reading experience, and one that I will certainly be recommending to many people in my real life, and obviously I'm highlighting here with a lot of positive feels. Ultimately, I'm landing on a 4 out of 5 star landing. So bye y'all, keep reading and resist white supremacy. And as always, Literally Graphic is created on land that should be given back to the traditional landholders. which in this case is, to my knowledge, the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, an Anishinaabe people, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Huron-Wendat Nation.